All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me today. We always hear so much, and even today the ignorance abounds on social media of it don't work here, no till, no yield. Everybody in the 80s tried it, and it just, you know, no, our dads did it and it failed miserably. I don't speak of no till, but that's what everybody relates to. And so, but I want to ask the question that what if it did work? What if you tried some of this stuff and it did work and made you a couple dollars an acre more, saved you a couple hours per acre over the year that you could spend with your family? What would that mean to your farm and to your family life if you had a little more time for family life and a little more money coming off the farm? Instead of losing money, you were to a break even, or instead of a break even, you were to a profit. Would that change your quality of farm life and family life? That's what this is all about here. If we're talking to like a dairy operation, going into this 30-inch corn with all this hay in here, making silage out of this, we would have had some legumes mixed in here. So would this be enough protein added to the silage that maybe save some protein dollars or save on the amount of haylage that has to be fed? Or with the extra tonnage in here, instead of having 100 acres for silage, you get by with 80, so you either have 20% extra silage to carry you through inventory for the next year in case it's a drought the next year, or you had 20% of your silage acres that you could sell as grain corn on the open market, or do something else with to maybe help the farm better. What would that matter to you? Would it matter that you've got your hay field and stuff established this year, so at first cutting next year you've got your hay acre established, instead of setting aside that field and missing that first or second cutting time frame? You know, an extra for, like here, let's say the 40 right behind you, you know, 40 acres, that one extra cutting, that's a lot of crop, that's a lot of money. To a guy that's growing their own feed, that's a huge deal. How would that help the farm? For the beef guy that you know, what, like we said before on the 60-inch corn, what if you were grazing behind this and you had a month of all you had to do was once every other day or once a week go move a temporary fence, instead of like, I gotta go haul bales again, or rotating through the summer, not even with the corn, but just having pasture management and using covers and pasture seeded stuff instead of old burnt up grass. So in July and August you're just moving cattle instead of putting up hay to haul the hay out to the cows and all that expense. What would it mean to your family if you were able to sell an extra 6,000 or 7,000 bales a year? Dollars worth of bales a year. That would have to help improve some people's quality of life, would it not? What if for the row crop people in the springtime, if you were able to get rid of tillage, what would that mean in the fall during harvest? So I have 3 or 4 young couples or couples similar age as me that are farming that I visit with once in a while, and in the fall you got, you know, him and her are getting the corn out or the beans out, and then the dad or the brother-in-law or the neighbor or the old retired farmer down the road, somebody is being hired to run that tillage piece behind the harvest, and the stresses of keeping that tractor moving plus to keep the combine moving. Well, what would it mean to your fall harvest time if maybe that was just a grain drill or nothing behind the harvest, you know? How would that benefit you? And come next spring, if next spring all you had to do was get the sprayer out and the planter out and do your normal thing, but not have to stress about tillage and a rain coming, and oh, we finished that field last week but a pop-up shower came and now it's crusted over, we got to go stir it up again before we can plant it on the conventional side, to where on the soil health side you're like, oh, rain came, okay, well, we got a ½ inch 20 minutes ago, so let's go plant. I mean, if you take some of them stresses out, how would that affect your life and the dollars? I mean, if you got rid of the tillage program and it changed you $65 an acre and you were able in a couple years to turn that into true money, what would $65 an acre do on your farm from a $65 an acre swing? Either, you know, if you were losing 65, well, hey, now you're at least breaking even, or if you're breaking even, now you're making $65 an acre better. On a 1,000-acre farm, that's a $65,000 swing. I don't know how you guys are living, but I know how I'm living, that if I swung my farm income $65,000, that would change my farm drastically. I'd piss it all away on other equipment. I'd just burden myself with another item to buy, but nonetheless, we'd be moving the farm forward. That's the whole point of the soil health. Soil health is not a system for sale. There's nothing to buy. There's all the people in soil health, they get paid for doing speaking and selling books. There's no system to sell. There's no soil health equipment to sell. It is what it is. And so most of us in soil health are looking at like, hey, we're just looking at quality of life on the farm. And why do we, back to our farm business management book, why do we have to give the co-op $150 or $1 a bushel on corn, hoping, and then us hope we can break even or lose money? That's where all soil health is coming from. But I'm just going to make this short, leave them questions out there for you guys to answer, you know. And so, you know, what if you were able to find alternative markets instead of just stuck with corn and beans? And I don't know, instead of panic harvesting in the fall with soybeans, you know, got to get beans done now, and now we got to get corn done. What if you broke that up and had other stuff to harvest? And so I'll just leave you guys with them thoughts. And so, all right, thank you much.